Good afternoon. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday so far. Actually turn this light on a little bit because it's a little dark, and I thought maybe it wouldn't be that dark. So, um, I wanted to piggyback on what April Hamilton said on her status on last week because she was talking about the youth generation, and I've been thinking about the youth generation myself. The youth generation just does not have an identity. And the reason why I say that is because, excuse me, you have mothers or single moms or even single dads, but you have a parent or parents that just talk down, to the child. And what I mean by that is, like, say if it's, you have a son and the son looks just like the dad. The dad is not even in the picture. And so you telling this boy, this your son, you ain't ish. You just like your daddy. Your daddy ain't no good. So guess what? This young man is going to grow up to not have a care in the world. Why? His mama didn't care. Why should he care about himself? I'm no good, just like my daddy, whom I never met. So I'm gonna act up. That's all I know. Same for if you have a daughter. Your daughter could have anger issues. If she has anger issues, it's a reason. Whether it's something that, she saw in her childhood, or whether that anger is really love and she wants love, and maybe she feel like she's not getting that from her mom. And so she may feel like the only way that she can get love is to open her legs. Well, if I open my legs and give my stuff up to a guy, at least I know he likes me. At least I know, even if it's just for a moment, at least I know somebody cares about me. Because they may not feel in that love from their parent, or from their mom or from their dad, or if they're being raised by their grandparents. When you're a parent, there's no manual, point blank, period. You know what I mean? But it's so important to speak life into your child. And even if you don't have any kids, if you have nieces and nephews, speak life. What do you mean by that, Benita? Glad you asked. Let me tell you. Even if you never had anybody speaking to you to say, you are a king, you are smart, you are blessed, you are a queen, you are beautiful, you are not what people say you are. I'm telling you who you are. That way you are confident in yourself, and that when somebody else say, like when they go to these gangs and they think that's my family. No, speak life. That's what I mean by speaking life. You speak over your child. We as parents, we have the authority to speak over our child and say who our child are, to say that our child is blessed. That's what I say to my son. But what the doctor say about my son? You know what I tell him? You are blessed, you are gifted, you are anointed, you are favored, you are smart. Those are the things I say to my son. And that's what a parent should say to their child. If you have a daughter, you are beautiful, you are smart, you are gifted. Because those are the words that should come out of their parent. That's what should come out. Whether you're a godparent, whether you're an auntie, whether you're an uncle, that's what this youth generation needs. Someone that was speaking to them. And even, you could say, well, I tried speaking that into him or her. It's hard. Of course it's hard because they have that wall. And it's hard for them to want to say how they feel because they got hurt so many times by people whom they love, that's why they have this wall. And that's why they, want to say, these things about themselves and just act like they don't care. This can be from either a child, even a child that's 5 years old, 6, 7, 8 years old. They have feelings. They have feelings. And that's why it's so important to speak life. I had great parents, don't get me wrong, but they didn't speak those things over me. And that's why growing up, I had low self-esteem. And that's why I say, it's just so important to speak over your child. That's why I said if I ever have a child, I will speak the things that I would have wanted spoken to in my life. I would say it to my child. So that's what this generation needs. This generation not only needs love, but it needs to, for people to speak life into them, to speak how great they are, how beautiful they are, how they are a king. You're not a thug, you're not a hoe, you're not this or that. No, this is who you are. Then that way they can walk in confidence, knowing who they are, whose they are, and not what somebody else thinks. It's not too late. So that's my prayer. I pray that people, we as parents step up and let's speak life into our children. Let's tell them who they are. Let's tell them who they are.